absolutely glorious out here today. And so Brian and I have been out here doing a little bit of work. I've been in the skid steer and got some trails cut. Brian's down here pulling out all the junk that's just been hanging for years. So our goal this spring is to get a lot of the hanging and leaning and yucky underbrush down, so we can get some trails finished and really work on our grove. This is our front grove here, and then we're sort of gradually working our way back towards the back of the property, going up this side first and going all the way towards the back. We really want to make some nice wide trails so that we can fit like I don't know if you can see it, but like our golf cart, get that back on the trails so we can go back trail running sort of with mom and dad. And so we're just finishing up for the day, and we're gonna walk on the trails a little bit and show you guys what we've been working on. Okay, so I'm walking towards the first trailhead that we made, and you know, our goal for this property is really long-term, and there's a ton of work to be done. It's been really not had anything done with it for a really long time. The gentleman we bought it from did try to make some trails, and I'll show you a little bit of what he did back when we get back towards the other end. I hope it's not too windy, but it really has been unimproved. And since we purchased the property a few years ago, we have really been working hard to get it better, but it's just him and I. You know, it takes a long time, but now that mom and dad are here and we've got some better tools that we can use, we're able to get things done a little bit faster. And so we're hoping that this year we can really get a nice trail completed, and we're gonna take you guys along as we build that. It's one of the many projects around here as we're going, but yeah, basically that's it. It's just, there's a lot going on, there's a lot to do, and it's never a dull moment around here in our blissful homestead. So I'm gonna take you around right now. So you can see the house behind me. So I'm facing the street, and then we're gonna flip around really fast. Here's the street view. And so this grove here goes along the front left part of our property as you come in. So as you're coming up the driveway towards the house, it's all this big grove here. It's really beautiful. There's some really old specimens in here, but there's a lot of scrub too. And there's a ton of poison ivy. And so it's really important that we get a lot of this done now before the poison ivy wakes up. So we've started out here, and there's a lot of scrub still. There's like raspberry canes that aren't, actually they're more like blackberry canes, I think, or I don't know what they are, but they're very prickly, and they really don't yield a lot of fruit because they've just been here a long time. So we're kind of gradually pushing those back. There's a lot of thorny, oh gosh, I can't even think of the name. Anyways, it's a lot of junk that is really makes it hard to enjoy the woods for what it is. We like to bird watch, we like to hike, and we really want to utilize all the space here that we have on the property. So we started out, we came down here and we kind of thinned this out a little bit the other day. We did it all by hand, little tiny chainsaw, bigger chainsaw, loppers, you know, we just kind of got in here and did it. Then we pulled a lot of it out. We have a wood chipper coming because that's going to kind of aid in our next phase of the project. Oh, I hope this isn't too loud, guys. So let me get into the grove. Here's where we decided to make the trail start. And the thinking behind doing our trail is we're sort of following the deer runs. So we have a really heavy deer pressure here on the property, which is wonderful. And they have really worked through, and I'll show you as we walk along this side, they really have worked through a lot of the undergrowth to make really natural deer highways. And so we kind of followed those. We didn't want to take out, a lot of the bigger trees. We wanted to leave them. There are a lot of, like I said, scrub trees that I would like to take down so we give everything down below can reach the canopy a little bit better, and we can grow our trees up a bit. So we also wanted to have, we wanted the trails to be a really nice feel to them. We didn't want it to be like straight line in, straight line out. So we what we did was we had Brian walked ahead of me, and he had some orange paint, and I followed behind him in the skid steer, and everywhere he did orange paint that was low enough, I plowed over with the skid steer and I made the trail according to where he wanted it. And then he went back through and cut some things down. And so we kind of worked together, just kind of made our way down the trail, and it ended up really, really cool. I'm so excited about how this one in particular turned out. So it comes in, it's a nice curve around, and we've been working it for a few days now, and it's by no means done. We've had a lot of little treasures we found, a lot of garbage back here, especially right here. This is closest to the street, and I think a lot of things kind of blow through. There's a lot of garbage that we're slowly going to get picked up, but we wanted to cut the trail first. And there are a lot of stumps that we still have to work through, and I'm still learning how to use the skid steer really well. So, I cut too deep in some spots, and I'm really not worried about that because we're going to come back through and smooth everything out. But it's just nice to sort of see the direction that we're going in now and being able to visualize what we're creating. So it's really nice. So this over here is a couple hundred acres, I think, of field that they farm alternately corn and soybeans. So our property runs parallel north and south with this field, and I'm going to put up a map and show you guys what our property looks like. But so right through here, we have never been able to get back here. So we've had this place, oh my gosh, we bought this 4 years ago, going on 4 years now. We've never been able to get into this grove. So this is super cool. We're really excited to see what's back here. The other day we just walked through briefly on this little track, and we saw a woodpecker and a nuthatch, and it's just beautiful. It just needs some TLC. So walking through back here, thankfully it's drying out and it's gorgeous. Sunshine is helping today. But you can see Brian up there, way up there. He's cutting down a lot of what is hanging. So like I said, this has had no TLC in years. And so anytime a windstorm would come through, you see this right here, it break branches off, things just hanging, not to mention all the suckers, but we'll get to that another point. Just the trees haven't been taken care of, obviously. But he's going through and just sort of, not sure if you can see, but he's kind of like taking down all of the deadfall and the leaning pieces, all the stuff that just kind of gunks it up. And so we'll be able to come through with the chipper and really get this cleaned up a lot. So back to the path. I'm gonna have to pace this off. I really don't know how long this particular trail is. I just connected the other end of it today. Sort of the other end, I mean, but I'm really not sure how far it goes. But it's so nice. It's so nice to be able to walk past here. So you can see through the grove, we're almost to where the house starts. And again, we're just walking up, walking through this shady area. It's really nice up here. Okay, right back up here through the shady area. And like I said, the trails are really, really rough right now. This trail is. A lot of this is just back and forth with the skid steer, pushing things off to the side. We want it to be wide enough to drive mom and dad through. They are not interested in hiking, but they do like driving through the woods, driving around the property. So that's what we're making happen. So this end of the trail comes out here in front of the north side of the house, our side of the house. So we started down the driveway, kind of around the corner, walked through the grove all the way to here. And then the trail kind of comes up around this retention pond. And again, I really hope that the wind isn't too loud. It's kind of a windy day. Be back in the woods in a minute. It should shield some of that. But all over our property, we've got like these scrubby bushes. We've got blackberries and raspberries. We've got shrub roses. I call them scrub roses because they really barely bloom. But anything that's going to reach out and be pokey. So we're trying to push all that back. Okay, so this is the other end of the trail, and there was a quick video I made a while back of Brian pushing up when we first got the skid steer. He was kind of pushing up this way. And so I kind of continued that through. You'll see where I picked it up, but you can even see like the chicken coop through there. They're doing some work on that for us. Jake and his crew, awesome. Getting a lot done, helping us with the roof and all that so we can focus on other projects. And so you can see, I want to show you this one spot here. Okay. This right here is one of the natural deer runs. And that's kind of what we've been following through here to make the trails. And it's funny because we came out yesterday and it had been raining and gross. And then yesterday sort of started to warm up. So we walked this trail, the first one I walked with you. And then all we could see were deer tracks on it. So I think the deer are really, they're really able to use it. They really like it. So, well, I don't know if they like it. I'm not a deer, but you know, so eventually, we're going to cut this back a little bit as another kind of portal to the chicken coop, but they've been a little stressed. They've had a lot of people working in there today, and I've been driving around like a maniac in the skid steer, so I didn't want to make any other trails towards the coop right now. We'll sort of let them calm down a bit. So back through here. Now this is a really good example of like how somebody's laying an egg in there. She's singing. These grapevines and poison ivy. So you can see the poison ivy here vining up, and then the grapevine twisted up with it too. So these trees need to be taken care of badly. Oh my gosh, she is singing in there. So we've got years and years and years of work to do out here, but that's okay because we're not going anywhere. So this is the point where there were some trails made by the person who owned this before us, and there's never been a house here. This was all farmland. It was actually an apple orchard for a while. And then it's just been sort of nothing for 50, 60 years. And there was a young man who bought it, and he was planning on building here, but then things changed, and so we bought it from him. Look at this. I love this tree. It's so pretty. All the white. Not sure if that, oh, I know the name of that and it's escaping me right now. But anyways, I get distracted by trees. So he did some unusual things out here. One of which was this little grow operation thing he had going on here. In 4 years, we haven't taken this out yet because we actually haven't had anything like a utility vehicle or a trailer or anything to get it out. Now we do, so that's going to go. Clearly we don't need, some kind of grow operation back here. So today, after I got done smoothing out the front, oh, hello, pretty. I think that was a robin. Probably because I turned up a ton of dirt back here. But this is where I started the new trail towards the back And the reason I started it here was because these trails kind of went off. The one I was just on went that way, and it loops around towards the back and comes out by the chicken coop. And that was there. This over here, there was nothing. So there was just all this kind of scrubby vegetation. I mean, this thing that's hanging here was right here. And so I took the skid steer and I pushed it back, and that opened up. I could see this sort of track through here. There's a couple of trees. So all I did is, as I was driving, I just I'd push and then I'd wait and look and push and look. And that kind of gave me the vision of where the trail should go. No right or wrong way to do it. It's just what I felt at the time, the most natural curve. And so this is what we ended up with. And this one is super raw. I literally just got out of the skid steer a few minutes ago. So it's really got a lot of work to do, but I'm really happy with it so far. Pushing things back, getting stumps out. This is kind of gnarly. Excuse me. And then felt like we should swing around this way. So that's what I did. And between these two trees, and this one's going to come out. This tree right here, it's bad shape, bad shape. So, and then I felt like it should come out right here. This was kind of a natural exit. And then we're towards the back of our property. So that's the first set of trails. Now back here, you can't see the property marker, but way up in there, right up in there, marks the edge of our property. And so we've got a good portion of this back here, all the way across. Excuse me. And then we've got this open area here. That's the trail we just came out. And that's the field that runs north-south parallel with us. About a month ago, we had another set of tile put in. So these are the standpipes for the drainage for the field. So that's why it's all muddy back here, and that's why this is clear cut. So the village put in a storm drain about 5 years ago from that subdivision under the field to the big standpipe there. And then they clear cut all of this back here for connecting it. And we recently purchased this field over here, which is, I think, 12 or 15 acres, something like that. That's starting to be farmed again, and it needed tile really bad. So we tied that in back here. So this is all open, and I think what we're gonna do here is we have a lot of black walnut trees back here, which is good. But we're also going to be starting a chestnut orchard, and I think we're going to start it back here in this area. Get a lot of sun here. With the tile, it should be good drainage. All right, and I'm going to take you back this way. I'm sorry for the sniffles. Early spring, Okay, so we're gonna go back, kind of come out by chicken coop and see which lovely lady was laying eggs for, although we probably won't be able to tell because there's a few of them in there. But this will give you another idea coming back down the trail that I just cut today. And I'll show you oh, somebody's still singing in there. Show you the trails that we had before. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on in that coop. So this was one of the trails that was here before. Those chickens are so loud. I think I better go see what's going on. And we've been working since we've owned it on really mowing this short. A lot of weed whacking, a lot of pulling the scrub off the sides. And it's made a big difference. So, oh my gosh. I'm trying not to pant too hard. But I'm trying to get back to the chickens because I don't know if you guys can hear, but man, ladies are loud right now. Let's see what's going on in there. So basically we just walked north-south almost the whole length of our property. Come out in here and go in the chicken coop and see what is going on. Of course they're going to be quiet now because I said that they were being loud. What's going on, ladies? You can come out. They've been a little stressed today because there's been guys here working on the roof. Let's see if we can get this. Hi, girls. Why are you all inside? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's going on? Hi, everybody. We got people dust bathing. Chickens dust bathing. We've got some eggs back in the corner. Egg over there. Oh, this is... No, you're not coming out, Toots. And I know we have eggs inside, a lot of them, but we've got our friends have their drills in here, so we're not going to move those, but... Oh, let me see. I think we'll leave this, maybe we'll leave this open. Give them a little fresh air. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh my goodness. You got so much to say. Oh, that's what you don't like. So we've got this plastic here to kind of keep the cold out. And it's windy today, so it's banging on the other side. They don't like that. Okay. So we'll leave them be. So that's pretty much it for today. Gotta go make dinner. I think Brian and I are about done. We're so tired. But we'll do more and we will bring you on more adventures. We're really glad that you're watching with us, and hope you keep watching with us. We have a lot to do, and it's nice to have friends come along with us and laugh and cry and be goofy with us as we do it. So thanks again, and we're gonna go inside, and I think we're making pizza for dinner tonight. So see you later. Thanks. Bye.